Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the Shred Show Live with me, your host, Josh Pitts. I'm excited to have you guys here. I have a new special guest with me today. Phil Denfeld from First Heritage Mortgage is joining me, and we're going to be talking about mortgages made easy. Guys, times are changing. Absolutely, our industry is changing, and you need to be aware of the tools and the systems that are going to help you in 2021 to differentiate yourself, to make the process simpler, to help your consumers. Guys, volume up. Join us now as we get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm excited to have you guys here this morning. It's going to be a great show. I'm very excited to have my special guest, Phil Denfeld, hanging out with me this morning from First Heritage Mortgage. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, this is somebody who has 20 years of experience, and not only 20 years of experience in the mortgage industry, but 20 years with the same company. That is absolutely mind-blowing to me. We see so many people bounce from here to there, and Phil has such an expertise and knowledge of First Heritage, so I'm excited to have him on the show, sharing some things about First Heritage Mortgage, but also sharing some tools, some strategies that they're using to really differentiate themselves in this new year. Phil, welcome to the show, and thanks for being here.
You bet, Josh. It's always great to talk with you.
Well, I'm excited to have you. So, Phil, again, you're a veteran of the industry. You have seen the ups, you have seen the downs. So for those who have never heard from you or don't know anything about you, kind of give us a little background. Again, you've been with First Heritage Mortgage for almost 20 years now.
Yeah. I was actually running a family business for a number of years, and a great friend of mine, my best friend, had been in the industry a long time and was always telling me, you need to get into this. And I finally made the leap and got into the business and joined First Heritage Mortgage when we had 5 or 6 employees. And here today we have 244 employees and licensed in 11 states with 15 offices. So I've watched growth from one small little office to where we are today. So it's been quite a ride.
That's amazing. It's so cool to hear those stories where, again, you've seen that growth. You started with 5 employees, now over 200 employees. You've seen the ups, the downs. And when you're with a company that long, you become so invested in, everybody there, in the community, in the relationships that are there. So kudos to you. That's absolutely amazing to see somebody that, again, when I see somebody, it says a lot about the person, number one. It shows a lot about who they are, but it shows a lot about the company as well. If a company can keep somebody there for that long, so especially somebody with your talents, with your expertise, that just means they're doing something right. So with that, tell us a little bit about First Heritage Mortgage, kind of when they were established, how they're growing in 2021.
Sure. Well, it started in 1996, and as I said, very small company. And then we have a unique model at First Heritage. Number one, maybe not unique to some companies, but I think we have an excellent company culture, which we don't have a lot of turnover. When people join us, they usually stay. And so that's a tribute to, the management from the top down, but just kind of the culture that we've created here at our company that's been very positive. But the other thing is that we are partially owned by a large local builder. Is now growing and expanding down the East Coast. And we have a unique model that way. What we do is we search for good, high-producing loan officers who have a good record to be able to produce loans on the street by themselves, and then we bring them in, and we're able to supplement that business with some of the builder business that we have. And that model has worked great for us. Like I said, growing from one office to now 15 offices and in 11 states. We're adding 2 more here pretty soon. So we're growing and expanding, and our builder, fortunately, is growing and expanding as well. So we've got a model that's it's pretty neat, and there's a good trajectory for anybody who joins our company.
That's awesome. And I love talking about originators, looking for the right fit. Because sometimes a lot of companies, they're just trying to get anybody and everybody. But again, when you've built a culture, and again, you've been part of that culture for almost 20 years now, when you start to build that culture within a company, it's not just trying to find anybody. They're like, hey, we just want droves of people to join our company. It's finding those right people. And I think sometimes that's overlooked in our industry. Sometimes recruiters especially are just trying to find anybody and they're like, hey, just come join us. And they're trying to play the numbers game. When it comes to First Heritage, what you're talking about, those originators have to be the right fit. They really have to be able to fit the culture, fit the model of what you're building at First Heritage.
Right, and that's why I said, we're not a builder mortgage company. Actually, the builder business we do for the builder that owns us is only 20% of our overall volume. And that's because we find producers who can also get some builder business rather than finding a loan officer who wants to do builder business and then that's all they do.
For sure.
That model just builds and grows on itself because the value proposition is so awesome for an originator. They can come in and keep doing all the stuff that they do, and we'll just say, here, we'll give you some more. It's kind of the icing on the cake.
Well, you talk about that value proposition, and that kind of leads perfectly into talking about some of the tools and some of the systems that you guys use at First Heritage, which one of those is SimpleNexus. You guys have that tool at your discretion. That's one of the things that we're talking about. And something that, guys, I've got the hat on today. We've been talking about the Where's Your Office campaign. And guys, if you haven't, see, there he is right there. Phil's got it right there. See, he's with us. If you guys haven't had the opportunity to register for the Where Is Your Office giveaway, you can win a $2,000 Expedia gift card. You can travel. They're giving you the opportunity to travel when everything opens back up. But I will post a link below. It's simplenexus.com/WIYO. You can register for that. So let's talk about this a little bit, though, Phil. Being that you, like you said, looking for those originators, giving them the tools, giving them the resources that they can go out and become better. Like you said, you don't want them to distract. You don't want to distract them. You want them to come into a system, have the tools right there at their discretion. And the SimpleNexus platform, SimpleNexus tools, is one of those platforms that you guys have seen be very beneficial to LOs.
Yeah. Well, to give you a little background, so I originated for 18 years with First Heritage before I was asked to stop originating and move into my current role. And basically, a lot of that role is looking ahead to the future for technology and improvements in processes and things like that. But the technology thing is always something I've been interested in. And the background on SimpleNexus is kind of an interesting story. So, we work hard, but we like to play hard too, and some of the guys in the company were on a fishing trip actually down to Texas. And one of the guys that was with us was working for another company at the time. And we came in off of the water and he had an email from a realtor that needed an approval letter for a client that he had been working with. And he was like, oh man, I don't want to have to go back and fire up my computer. And he goes, I think we have this app. I've never used it, but I think I can write an approval letter. So he started digging into it and realized, oh my gosh, I can. And so he sent this approval letter and we're all like, what is that? And it was a white labeled app that his company had given him, but they'd never really done any training on it. And so we started trying to find out, who is this company? Where's this come from? And we finally found SimpleNexus. And I called him up, started talking to Michael Chan, and it was just, we're like, man, I'm so glad we found you. And we dove in, head first. And that's been my baby since the beginning. I've spent a ton of time originally just developing our app. We call it Loan Now by First Heritage Mortgage. And, the awesome thing about the app is that it just gives the originator that connection wherever they are. One of the reasons I didn't get into the industry sooner is because I didn't want to have a pager on my hip. I just felt like that was going to be too intrusive, right? But I did, and I had a pager for years. Now, with advent of when I had that, I had a car mounted phone, so that's
wow.
So now you carry your office in your pocket, right? And that's just another addition to that capability. And SimpleNexus has gone so far beyond where they originally were in their plans for the future. The roadmap for the future looks very bright. I'm excited about the additional things that they want to do. I'll be honest with you, I keep pushing them to give them more ideas because I just think it's the way to go, right? And we looked at other platforms and just nothing really compared to what they offer. And so, we got busy and got it rolled out, and the response with the loan officers has been phenomenal.
That's awesome. And that's just it, is those simple stories. We talked about this a little bit. It's helping originators find those unique ways to differentiate themselves, to separate themselves, and ultimately be able to benefit the consumer. That's what we're all in this for. We want to help our consumer. We want them to that homeowner journey, because it is a journey, start from start to finish. And there can be a lot of confusion. There can be a lot of questions. The app by SimpleNexus can allow originators to answer those questions, to be present, even if they're out and about doing things. And that's what the Where is Your Office campaign is all about. Is you can office, I mean, this story that you shared, you guys were out and about, like, and it was right there at your discretion, right there at your fingertips.
Yeah, again, well, I have another one.
Hear it.
So shortly after we rolled it out, I would say within the first week or so, on a Monday, I got a call from one of my loan officers, and he said, Phil, I just got to tell you this story. This was awesome. This new app is phenomenal. He goes, I took my kid to a pumpkin patch. And while we're there, my phone rings, and it's one of my agents that had a new client. They wanted to write on a house that just came on the market, and she needed help really quickly. So he said, I got on the phone with the client. I pulled their credit. I reviewed their credit, and it was such a good loan. I was able to write the approval letter and send it back to the agent while I was sitting on a hay bale at the pumpkin patch.
No way.
I mean, you can't beat that, because I've got stories where, I've had to run back to a hotel room and fire up the computer and try to get on the hotel Wi-Fi and get on the phone with the customer and do all that work. And now it's right there, and it's only going to get better. And then quite honestly, one of the other big factors for us going with SimpleNexus was the ability for clients to sign their loan docs on their phone. I mean, it's
huge.
And I know it's different in different parts of the country, but I'm located in the Washington metropolitan area, and in our area, it's rare that we see people face to face. Everyone's so daggone busy, and so everything is done electronically and specifically on their cell phones. And back in the day, that just wasn't possible, and it's just made life so much simpler.
That's so cool. And it's stories like that again, you and I have both, being an originator myself, owning a mortgage company. I've had my originators while they're about like, can you help me with this pre-approval? Can you help me? Because again, it's all about relationships. If a client calls us up, and again, we're not saying, ladies and gentlemen, that you have to be on the clock 24/7, but there's definitely times where you should spend with your family, be there, be present with your family. But this just gives you at your discretion. I love that you said this. You said this a second ago, Phil. We have the office in our pocket, and SimpleNexus gives us that opportunity. It doesn't take hours to send an approval letter either. You can do it within minutes. This guy had the pumpkin patch. He was able to sit down. I'm sure he took 5 or 10 minutes, but again, he's providing for his family at that moment too. Now, not only is he spending time with them, but now he just got another deal. And if there's a real estate agent involved or something like that, that's helping you build that relationship. Imagine, like, that's what SimpleNexus and this tool allows you to do. And again, First Heritage, being around it as long as they have, having that culture, having those originators look to you guys and saying, hey, what can really help me be different? What can help me in 2021, not only improve my business, but improve my communication? We always talk about communication in this industry. This app, the SimpleNexus app, just allows you to take that to the entire level. And like you said, signing docs from your phone, it just basically makes the process from A to Z right there at your fingertips. I have to ask you this, for being in the industry as long as you have, did you ever, going from a car phone to what we have now, did you ever imagine it would get to that place?
No, I mean, it's mind blowing to think where we have come, because even the first cell phones, the flip phones and stuff, were basically just a phone, right? And you could text, but that was pushing numbers and trying to get it to the right letter and all that stuff, and today, I mean, the capability is phenomenal. The power of the device that you hold in your hand is more than they had sending, rockets to the moon. So that is just mind blowing. And it's even more interesting, I think, what's the next thing is SimpleNexus is working on with the e-closing and the remote online notarization closings and stuff that they've rolled out. I mean, that stuff is so next level, honestly, but that's where our industry is going. And to be quite honest with you, since I've been in my role and kind of focusing more in technology, I wish the industry could move faster, because I think there is stuff out there that we can be doing better to make the customer experience even that much more seamless. But that seamless connection with the customer through the SimpleNexus app was, like I said, one of our big attractions, because the more we can get running through the same platform, the better it is for the customer. They don't need multiple logons. I mean, the rollout of the automatic verification of assets, that has been a big addition to the online application that they can do right on their phone. And we shouldn't just say it's on the phone, because there's a website too. So the customers
Sure.
sit in their office and they want to get on their desktop. You can start on the phone and finish on your desktop, or vice versa. So that it just makes the customer experience so much more seamless.
And I love that you talk about the customer experience, because again, being in it as long as you and I have, seeing the customer experience go from, I mean, all the paperwork to doing everything. I mean, you and I guarantee, I remember having the files on my desk, all the paperwork, all that. And it was a headache. I remember people trying to get all their documents. They missed a document, so they had to go back and get it. Now, this technology that is rolling out, the simplicity of it for the consumer, it is making that home ownership journey, is making it more enjoyable. It's making it simpler, and it's making it so, you know what, that people aren't getting as frustrated with us as originators, as mortgage professionals. This seamless process and the technology that companies like SimpleNexus are putting out are great for us. And I'm going to be honest, and I don't take offense to this, Phil, but I mean it in this way, that even somebody with your experience, being a veteran, doing this as long as you have, sometimes the older generation of the mortgage industry is scared of technology. But you're one of those who's adopting it. You're accepting it. You see the opportunity within it, and you're just going headfirst into it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I knew from day one that I wanted to be on the leading edge of whatever technology was available to just work more efficiently, right? And and it's just been a natural progression all the way up through the app. And you said something that reminded me. One of the other great features that we always liked of the app is the fact that it turns your camera phone into a scanner. So if that customer is out and about and they have your app on their phone, they can scan a pay stub or a driver's license or whatever document is missing and just send it over to you, and it's just amazing that it took that long to get there. But then now that we're here and looking to the advancement that can come, I'm excited about what it means for our company and for the industry in general. But the thing about being able to offer those tools to your loan officers and give them that extra advantage, it can put you ahead of other people, but a lot of people are catching up. I mean, the industry is getting there as a whole, but again, my job is to kind of keep us on the leading edge of that as much as possible.
And I love that. And the fact that, again, that you're accepting that and you see the future of the industry. You understand that technology is helping advance it, that it's helping simplify it, and it's helping that home ownership journey for the consumer. So, Phil, as we start to wrap things up here, if people have questions about First Heritage, what's the best way for them to get hold of you?
Well, you can reach me directly on my office line at 703-293-6151, or it's Phil Denfeld, all one word, at FHMTG.com, stands for First Heritage Mortgage. But we're on the web at First Heritage Mortgage or FHMTG.com as well. Now, we like I said, we've got a great proposition for a loan officer who's looking to grow their business without having to go out and find more relationships, because we're going to hand some to you. You're a good producer. You can find a home here for sure.
Well, and it's adopted, like you said, not only a great producer, but you're also using those tools like SimpleNexus that help those originators to simplify their business, simplify it for the consumer. And I promise you, as you adopt and use tools like this and align yourselves with companies like First Heritage Mortgage, you as an originator will succeed. You'll dominate 2021. You need these little things to separate yourselves, to make you a little bit different and to help the ultimate consumer. So, Phil, thank you again so much for joining us. Thank you to First Heritage Mortgage for giving us some time with you today. Thank you for the stories you've shared and all the things that, again, you continue to do and be a leader in our industry. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Josh. Enjoyed it.
Guys, again, if you haven't had the opportunity to register for the Where Is Your Office campaign with SimpleNexus, the link will be below. And if you have any questions for Phil and you want to reach out to him, we'll post his email in the link as well, so you can reach out to him. For us here at The Shred Show, we want to thank you again for being here and joining us. We appreciate you. We love you. Now it's time for all of you guys to go shred, go show up, hustle, repeat every day. See you guys. See you, Phil. Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you again so much for joining us for today's show. If you like the content, make sure you hit that like button below. And if you already haven't subscribed to our channel, click right over here and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you want to see our latest video, click over here. And again, if you want to see the best of daily content within the mortgage and real estate industries, you have to subscribe now. We look forward to having you shred with us every single day.